Hello and welcome back to this video training series on how you can become a best-selling author this year. I'm Jesse Krieger and I'm the founder and publisher for Lifestyle Entrepreneurs Press, where we help authors become entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs become best-selling authors. Now in videos 1 and 2, we covered content frameworks and how you can take your ideas and ultimately give them form and create an outline for what will become your book. Then in video 2, we talked about rapid content creation strategies, how you can create 100, 200 pages of content through author interviews without actually sitting down and typing out all of those words yourself. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about bestseller-worthy cover design for your book. And this is one of my favorite topics because one, a book cover is probably the most important aspect of your entire book. Why? Because most people will only see your book cover. And on the other hand, if your book cover is not good, then it's the only thing that they're going to see. So there's 3 aspects to creating a bestseller worthy cover design. And I'm going to share those with you in just a second. But first I want to talk about the importance of a book cover in the overall process of creating a book and ultimately building the foundation for a book-based business and brand. So the book cover really encapsulates the promise of your book. It's the first thing that people will see. The world will judge your book by its cover, so it's got to be good. The best-selling books that are at an airport in the bestseller shelves with the covers facing out is actually a representation of where the market is right now for your book, or at least for your genre. So whether it's business, whether that's self-help, whether that's fiction, etc. I always recommend looking at those whenever you're traveling or just as a reference, where is really the market at for your topic. So that's one thing. The other is, your book cover needs to be visible from 15 feet away. And I'm going to show you some examples of books that we've published in a minute. But first, I really want you to grasp this because it's integral to what I'm going to share with you about bestseller-worthy book cover design. But your book is not going to exist in a vacuum once you finish it and get it out into the world. In almost every case, your book will be alongside dozens, if not hundreds or thousands of other books in a bookstore in a physical form, or in a computer, it's going to be much smaller than its actual shape and size. And it'll also be positioned next to and alongside a number of other book covers. So it's very important that you get this right so that your book stands out, that it can be seen from 15 plus feet away, and that it lends itself to being shrunk down and visible on a computer screen as well. So, ready to dive into the 3 essential components for a bestseller-worthy book cover? Let's do it. So, first I'm going to show you a couple of books that we published. First, my own, Lifestyle Entrepreneur, and another, Powerful Words, right? And a third, Launch Your Business. Now, before I talk about that, what do you notice on each of those? I mean, in each case, you've got a title that takes up 1/3 to 1/2 of the total cover. It's bold, it contrasts with the back, with the background or with the other colors on the cover, and therefore stands out and is visible from a distance or when it's shrunk down on a computer screen, like I just mentioned. And so the first most important aspect of a bestseller-worthy book cover is the title itself. No surprise there, but I'll tell you what is shocking is how many self-published or first-time authors make a mistake of having a tiny little title on their book or having it blend in with the rest of the imagery that's going on in the book, basically drowning out the most important aspect of the book itself. So if you look at these again, right, here we are, maybe 10 feet away from the camera, and you should probably be able to see these covers as clear as day. Why? Because we made a point of having a bold, contrasting color that stands out and is also large enough that it can be seen from a distance or when it's shrunk down. Now, the second most important aspect of your book cover is what I call an illustrative image. And again, when we look through these, right, there's one primary image. Even if it's a complex image, there's not multiple images placed around the book cover, but rather there's one centralizing image that draws your eye. After you look at the title itself, you glance down and say, well, what's really that image on the cover? And this is very important. And the key here is to just have one illustrative image that really encapsulates the ideas in the book, hints at what the reader is going to learn, and is eye-grabbing and interesting enough that makes you think for an extra second, because for a first-time viewer, that may be all the time that you have. So you want to grab their attention, and each of these components brings them one step closer to actually picking it up, opening the cover, and finally digesting and reading the actual content that you've created and want to share with the world. So you want to get a nice illustrative image, a big, bold title, and the third most important part is the subtitle. And this is sort of in order of importance, although all three of these aspects are very important. But in order of importance, you've got to have a big, bold title. You definitely should have a bold, illustrative image that grabs the viewer's attention and centralizes it onto the book, and also hints at what's inside. But then you need the subtitle should also be very large in proportion to the other text that's on the cover itself. And for a subtitle, it's very useful to have sort of a three-part promise. So for Lifestyle Entrepreneur in my book, right, live your dreams, ignite your passions, and run your business from anywhere in the world. Three-part promise. For Powerful Words, right, you've got discover your secret language for personal success and maximizing impact through emotional connections. Again, a three-part promise. On Launch Your Business, you've got the 5-step solution to do what you love, quit your job, and have the freedom to live and travel on your own terms. Now, I don't even know exactly why it's useful to have a three-part promise, but what it does is it sort of paces the casual viewer through some of the actual information and transformation that you're sharing in your book. And in this case, it's more of something where I don't have scientific research to back this up, but from personal experience and from talking to others and really just tracking best-selling books over the years, that seems to be one of the common themes. So I encourage you to think about how you can make your subtitle a descriptive three-part promise. So to recap, for the bestseller-worthy book cover design, the first and most important thing is to have a big, bold title that stands out and contrasts with the background, that you could see from 15, 20 feet away if it's on a bookshelf in an airport, or if it's shrunk down and it's on Amazon and you're looking at it next to a bunch of other book covers. Then you need that illustrative image that you see it and it starts to hint at what you're going to learn, what you're going to understand when you pick up and open the book itself. And then a three-part promise on the subtitle. And then of course you need your author name on there as well. But if you get those three components right, then you're well on your way to having a bestseller-worthy book cover, and you're going to avoid the mistake that most indie or self-published authors make of playing small and trying to hide things or have an overly complicated cover design. I mean, for me, it's just so apparent when you see, an indie author or somebody that's put a book out there just by the cover itself. And it's really a shame, because if the cover sucks or if it's not up to par, if it's not eye-grabbing, and then that's probably the only thing you're ever going to see about that book, and it's probably the only time you're ever going to see that book, which is a shame because the information inside could be extremely valuable. So I've given you a resource next to this video that you can download that gives you a couple exercises to work through creating and visualizing how your bestseller-worthy book cover can look. And I encourage you to download that, work through it, and share your experience on the comment thread below here. Even if you've done some designs or if you've gotten some covers designed, I encourage you to upload those so that myself and others can see what you're working with and give you constructive feedback. So I hope this is helpful, and I hope you've been enjoying this free video training series. And again, I'm Jesse Krieger, and the founder of Lifestyle Entrepreneurs Press. I look forward to speaking with you, learning more about your book idea, and perhaps even publishing you and helping your book sail up the bestseller charts. Thanks very much. I'll see you in the next video and talk to you soon.